Um, Already immediately after the January 6th insurrection, the polling that took place soon after the event showed that there was a significant partisan divide and reactions to the event. So Republicans were significantly less likely to say, for example, that Mr. Trump should be blamed for the insurrection, or to say that it is important to find and prosecute those who broke the law through their participation in the insurrection. You might expect that partisan gap and reactions to the insurrection would have diminished over time, that Americans would come together to condemn the insurrection. But actually, it was the opposite. The partisan gap grew wider over time. That's what we see from the polling data.
The golden age of America begins right now.
So this is January 6th. These are the hostages. Approximately 1,500 for a pardon.
Yes.
Full pardon.
Full pardon or commutation?
Full pardon. We have about 6 commutations in there where we're doing further research. Nice to see you again. So this is a big one. Anything you want to explain about this? We hope they get them. We hope they come out tonight, frankly. They're expecting it. Cool. Free the J6 hostages now. They should free them now for what they've gone through.
And he promised to pardon them if he returns to office. Trump said that there was a lot of love on January the 6th. The rest of the nation, including law enforcement, saw a lot of hate.
For there to be a broad consensus, I think that key figures, leading officials in both parties, would have had to come together around the issue, and to sort of join together to develop a consensus or to promote a consensus. I think we've seen the opposite of that happen. So Mr. Trump has really portrayed the people who were involved in the January 6th insurrection as persecuted. He's called them hostages and political prisoners. He has really reversed the concerns that were raised in the wake of January 6th about the undermining of democratic institutions and processes. He turned things around. He claimed that falsely that the Democrats and President Biden had stolen the 2020 election. He claimed that he was being persecuted by what he described as a weaponized judicial system. And then, of course, he extended that to the individuals who had been tried and convicted for their involvement in January 6th, describing them as victims as well. So this is really the opposite of what would be needed to develop a broad consensus. A combination of demographic and cultural changes in American society have threatened the status of dominant groups in American society, and that this is the key driver that is motivating support for Mr. Trump and for Trumpism. And I think one of the ways that you see this connected to the January 6th insurrection and to broader trends is the rise of nativism in American society, of anti-immigration feeling. This was one of the things that motivated participants in the January 6th insurrection. But of course, this motivation is not limited to them. It's also a feeling or a sense that has been actively promoted by Mr. Trump and which is widely shared by many Republican voters. So as the demographic composition of the country changes as a result of long-term immigration trends, as we move to a majority-minority society, this can create anxiety and concern about the position of groups that were formerly dominant in American society and who may feel that their group position is undermined or threatened by these demographic changes. So,
thank you, sir.
The current trends continue. I don't see. I don't think it's very likely that we're going to have a consensus around January 6th, especially in the wake of the mass pardons that Mr. Trump has just instituted through executive order. What we see, if anything, is a deepening of that partisan divide around January 6th, a deepening division about what it means and how we should understand it. And I think that is going to grow. And I think as long as that division remains pretty deep, and I think it will, again, as I said, it will make it very difficult for institutional control mechanisms to come into play. We're already seeing that with the pardons. So the conviction and the imprisonment of these individuals was an example of institutional social control mechanisms at work. Those are being actively undermined and thwarted through the pardons.